The program is in touch. I'm Ginny McGehee for our Hall Communication Stations, and we have two guests in the studio. It is Mentoring Month, the month of January, and Mobius, Vermont's mentoring partnership. We're going to talk to them, Chad Butt, the executive director of Mobius, and along with him, a mentor who works through the Spectrum Youth and Family Services mentoring program. Jay Dietrich is in our studio as well. But first, we'll welcome Chad back to the microphone because we had you in here last year during the month of January. So it's good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
How's life at Mobius?
Oh, things are moving along well. Our transition to statewide partnership is definitely moving along. Lots of great mentoring programs out there. We're getting to know all of them and trying to support them all as well.
Because mentoring's been going on for a long time. Mobius is around Chittenden County for a long time, and now it's gone statewide. So trying to meet those needs, huh?
We're a Chittenden County-based organization for 10 years and expanded to statewide. There's a lot of need for mentors, and there's a lot of great programs there.
2 years, it's a lot to reach out all along the Green Mountain State. It's a lot of connection going on. But there have probably been mentoring programs happening in all of the counties long before Mobius went statewide.
Definitely. Every part of the state, different programs out there, meeting the needs of all the youth. Definitely looking for volunteers in all those areas as well.
Mentors are always needed of all ages, all backgrounds. There's no major requirement or a set of knowledge or training. You guys work hand in hand with mentors to make it really come together and happen.
There's great support for mentors. The mentoring program coordinators do a great job finding a perfect match for that mentor, a youth that they're really going to respond well and get along with. And then there's outstanding training as well going into it so that those mentors feel comfortable before they get out in the field and work with the youth and support ongoing as well. So if there's an issue, you have someone to turn to. So you're not on your own.
Chad, you have mentors of all kinds all over the state. We need more, and that's why January gets celebrated is the focus on mentoring. So you can get folks to get on board, sign up, and be part of something very cool and happening. And it helps a lot of young folks, doesn't it?
It does. And January, as National Mentoring Month, is also a great time to really recognize the mentors that are making a difference right now already in volunteering. But there is more need, and we are looking for people to sign up. Just takes an hour a week or 4 hours a month. And there's a program and there's a youth out there that's waiting for you to be their mentor.
When you talk about mentoring and the mentees, they're young people to teenagers, right? Is that the age range?
Yeah, really. Programs work with youth ages 5 up to 22. Spectrum is the one that works with the youth in the older age range up to 22, but there's elementary school programs and school-based programs that work with youth actually during the school day. And then there's community-based programs where you can take the youth out and do things around the community.
One of the great things about this is the mentees. It isn't just somebody who's got one parent or is in a low-income situation. People that benefit from mentors come from all walks of life and all backgrounds, right?
They do. Every youth can benefit from a mentor. If you can think back, there's mentors in all of our lives. Maybe it's not a formal mentoring program, but a natural mentor, a coach, a teacher, a relative, someone that really affected how you became who you are today. So really, anybody can benefit from having a mentor. Mentors get a lot out of the programs as well, and getting to be a big kid and hang out with someone that's a little bit younger once a week can make a big difference in your life as well. Just giving back. Chad
Butt is the executive director of Mobius, Vermont's mentoring partnership, and you, too, are a mentor, aren't you?
I am. I work with a young man now who's 22 years old, so it's a little bit different than what we were talking about when he was 15. Still a lot of fun and still making a difference.
It's tough to grow up, whether you're a kid or a teenager or in your early 20s, and face life without a little help, a little guidance, some friendship, right?
It helps. You got some life experience, and you can share that with someone. Ideally, they'll take it in and learn from it as well.
So what have you thought now you've been at the helm for almost 2 years?
It's been great to see so many different varieties of mentoring programs out there, and they're all making a huge difference in the lives of youth and their own models. There's literacy-based mentoring programs like Everybody Wins around the state where you go into a school and you read with a child once a week during their lunchtime. And then there's programs like Spectrum, which Jay is part of, which you have the opportunity to do things out in the community, go for bike rides, go to baseball games at the Lake Monsters. It's been just great to see all those different types of program, and there's great community support as well. Mobius has been working with local businesses to create a Mobius Mentor discount card. So if you want to go out and eat with your mentee at Flatbread, you can get half off. So there's great community support around mentoring us, not just the mentors themselves, but businesses as well.
A lot of times these mentoring programs like Jay, who has a one-on-one you do with a mentee, and I guess a lot of that is that way, although we talked about classrooms and different nonprofits and organizations you guys have been working with for years.
There's mentoring programs at King Street as well, Boys and Girls Club, other statewide programs like the DREAM program. It's a little bit different model that works with youth from affordable housing and pairs them up with college students. So taking advantage of all the colleges we have in the state as well. They're a great resource and have some great young people that are looking to give back while they're in the state going to college. You're looking for mentors of all ages.
Everybody's got something to contribute. And as you mentioned, there are businesses that support this. You do a lot of support with both the mentee and the mentor coming on board. They can find out a lot about the programs with your website or giving you guys a call, right?
Yeah, mobiusmentors.org, and giving us a call at 802-658-1888. Another support network we have is we're able to provide funding to mentoring programs as well, and we get funding from the state of Vermont through the Agency of Human Services and also through two great foundations, the Permanent Fund for Vermont's Children and the A.D. Henderson Foundation.
And those donations make it a little bit easier and make it happen, huh?
Nonprofits throughout the state are definitely trying to make ends meet, and allowing us to be able to grant funding out to mentoring programs and really help them make things work is a huge part of it.
Volunteering is a big part. Nonprofits, we have a lot of them in the state that do a lot of great good. You overlap with many of them in this mentoring movement, right?
We do. There's tons of nonprofits out there. There's mentoring programs run by bigger organizations like the Howard Center has a program called Community Friends, and then you have independent programs like the Mentoring Project of Upper Valley is a tiny mentoring program that's its own nonprofit. So there's bigger ones and smaller ones, but they're all shapes and sizes.
And there's room for you. What is the challenge? I mean, you just would like to increase the numbers of mentors every year, wouldn't you?
There's some new research that just came out that shows that 1 in 3 youth throughout America and in Vermont as well are going to grow up into adulthood without a formal or informal mentor, which really, when you look at it, it means that 1 in 3 youth are going to end up without someone they can turn to in their childhood for support. So there's about 32,000 youth out there that could really, in Vermont, use a mentor. We're at about 2,500 right now, so we're not going to put ourselves out of work anytime soon. Looking for individuals like your listeners to come out and take that next step and decide that they'd like to become a mentor and make a difference in a child's life.
We're running this on our 5 radio stations with Hall and a variety of backgrounds and ages that listen to different formats, but there's room for everyone. And you found, I'm sure, I know a few people who are mentors and they just can't get enough of it, that they jump on board and it turns into a long relationship.
It does. It takes that first initial step to realize that you do have time in your week or your month to make it happen. But everybody has a few hours here and there that they spend watching a TV show they didn't need to watch or doing something else. And you can find that time. And once you make that time and that commitment, you're going to see that you're making a difference, but also you're having a lot of fun doing it. You're going to stick with it ideally for more than that initial year commitment, but it turns into a friendship.
Chad Budd is the executive director of Mobius, Vermont's mentoring partnership, and we're going to welcome Jay to the microphone in a moment, but I know that teenagers are maybe not the first thing everybody thinks of when you're mentoring, but they really need guidance, and I know that I shouldn't say that more boys need a little more guidance than girls, although we all need guidance, don't we? But it's looking for mentors for some of the young guys out there, right?
There's a great need. Most of the waiting lists end up being about 2/3 male, and there's a need for more male mentors. Looking for men to step up and do their part and make a difference in the community they live in.
Let's get Jay on the microphone. Chad, thank you. I'll talk to you one more moment. We have Jay at the microphone. Jay Dietrich, he's a mentor through the Spectrum Mentoring Program with Spectrum Youth and Family Services. You've been at it for a little while.
Yep, 3.5 years now with my mentee, Joe, and we do a lot of different things. We try to get together once a week. Sometimes it's every other week, but we meet regularly.
Now, you have a couple of sons yourself?
Yep, 2 older sons. They're off and doing their own thing in the world and doing well. So that was kind of my impetus to get back and work with young adults and do things with them. It's something I enjoy. Personally, I get a lot out of working with high school-age youth because they're really getting challenged and starting to question the world. You can have a lot of fun with discussions and getting them to think about where they're headed and some of the things they need to focus on.
It's so funny. Old folks, I'm one of those these days, and young folks, there are different thoughts on how everybody ticks. And it's amazing what we can all get out of a relationship, no matter what age that person is, right?
It is, and it helps you remember how you were when you were younger, and it gives a certain amount of humility to my life, in that you see how he views the world and some of the things he thinks about, and it keeps me refreshed.
Teenagers are cool. Young folks, they're just shaping their lives. They're looking to see what they want to do. And you've been with Joe for 3.5 years. Did you actually step up and sign up to mentor, or did you get recruited? You're working through Spectrum. Did they ask you, or did you go to them?
I went to them. I was aware of the program, and having gotten my boys raised and out into the world, I was ready for another challenge. And so I signed up and offered and haven't looked back since.
And this has been enjoyable. How do you work your schedule? It depends, I'm sure, on what's going on, huh?
Right. I don't have a regular schedule because I travel for work and do other things. So we pretty much set up a week in advance, try to plan for the next get-together. It's kind of watching what opportunities are out there. Certainly it's easier in the summer than the winter, but we take advantage of flatbreads, their offer. The Edge provides a guest pass that we can use at the gym, which Joe really likes to do, particularly the swimming pool. So there's always something we can tap into through the Mobius card or through other things available in the community.
That support does help it all along, doesn't it?
Oh, it's critical because there's some nights, where I'll be heading out and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do tonight? But you can always just pull out the card or quick check the paper and you find something you can go do.
It is an amazing area. There's so much going on, even in the midst of winter, if you're not, out playing in the snow, and it's been a little chilly for that. What are your reflections on this in 3.5 years? It's evidently been a good relationship. You started when he was a bit younger. He's 17 now, right?
Yep, right.
I know you had 2 boys. That probably did help some.
Well, it helped a lot. And like I said, I remember how I was when I was younger. And you got to show the young man respect and listen to him. But you also have to be willing to tell him that, hey, this is where the limit is and this is how we're going to work things. There was a lot of give and take the first year of figuring out how we worked with each other. And we'd have some interesting conversations about things that bothered him. And I'd look at him and say, hey, that's how the world is, guy. You better accept it and get ready to deal with it because it's not going to change.
What do you say to people out there that maybe, hey, I should maybe look into this program. Maybe I should give that kind of a commitment. A little donation of time can do a lot, right?
It's really important. My father died when I was 11, and I never really had a mentor. And so that was part of my reason for giving back. And I know for me it would have made a lot of difference. And I did have some mentors with coaches and stuff, but having this kind of relationship would have been so neat. It's important for me to do it as a way to give back and to try to help someone that's in the same situation I was at the time.
Jay's been mentor for 3.5 years. You could join on board and make a difference in the life of a young person out there. Jay Dietrich, who is a mentor, called in to be the spokesperson for the mentors out there, which you've done a very good job of. Anything else you might want to add about Mobius and mentoring?
It's a great community. Chad and Benji and now Leanne at Spectrum are all great to work with, and they're always there to help. And there's been a few times where I've needed help. That's there, and the offerings from the Mobius cards and from different companies and businesses in the community is great. It's a great state. Everybody is just super to work with. Jay,
I appreciate you being in our studios, and I'm sure that Mobius is happy to have you in Spectrum and your young mentee, Joe, as well. Jay Dietrich in here. There are a lot of great reasons to step up and volunteer and become a mentor, and a lot of great opportunities. January is a good place to start. You do this as the mentoring month, so you can get people on board for the year. And a lot of times people are looking for a little change or something new in the new year, right?
Definitely finding for new ways to set resolutions and stick with them, and looking for anybody out there that just wants to have a lot of fun and make a difference at the same time.
And even if you have a 9-to-5 job or you've got different hours, or you're traveling like Jay does for his job, there's a schedule that'll work, right?
There is. There's time in the day to find during the school day, during a weekend. Just take the next step and call up a mentoring program in your area. Go on our website, mobiusmentors.org. You can find a mentoring program in your area and just give a call and talk to the coordinator. They can walk you through it and see what would fit for you.
Mentoring has made the difference in a lot of lives. I'm sure you've heard some pretty successful stories in your 2 years at the helm.
I've had a great opportunity to get a cup of coffee with a young woman who's now 22 and just graduated from college. And she was in the DREAM program, which I worked for, and was a mentee in the program, graduated, went on to college at UVM, became a mentor, and is now just graduated and going on to a healthcare-related field. It's great to see that cycle happen, and someone who was a mentee want to give back and want to make that same difference that she had in her life for other youth in the community.
Great support you'll get from the organizations and the organization Mobius. It's time. Why not learn more and step up and find a mentee? They will help you work it out. Any questions, great support, which is really a nice part of the whole thing.
You're not on your own. There's other mentors there that have been doing it for years that can give you advice as well. The mentor coordinators and all the programs are there to help you figure out how to make the best of it.
Chad, let's give that contact information one more time, phone number and the website.
The phone number is 802-658-1888. That's 658-1888. And the website is mobiusmentors.org.
Chad Butt, the executive director of Mobius, Vermont's mentoring partnership with us, along with Jay Dietrich, who's a mentor through the Spectrum Monitoring Program with Spectrum Youth and Family Services, our guests. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm Ginny McGehee, and you're In Touch.